10 seconds remaining.
Welcome back, guys. After a short little break, we're through to our second best of three of the night. 5Jungs up against Golden Boys. So let's see where the night takes us, what we're actually going to have our hands as the draft is underway. We're finally into a lobby. We've finally got ourselves started after a few crashes, after a little tap with Dota 2 not really enjoying what's happening. The amount of spectators in this game is pretty damn high. But I'm not alone tonight. Oddpax, my co-caster, is here, and not really anything surprising in the band so far, right?
No. We don't have the Clockwork band, I guess would be the only difference, but seeing a few more of those high-tiers, like the Naga Siren, I believe was totally ignored in the series this morning. I think that's correct, right? And that's something we see with like certain teams where it just doesn't get picked or banned, like maybe they're not comfortable running that support role.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those heroes where it's almost a specialty hero. You know, it's not fully along the lines of, you know, Invoker and things like that, where you need to focus on playing and practicing that hero over and over again. But there are certain players that do excel a little bit more than others. You know, AUI showed that his heroes, Kuroki played a bunch as well in the past, so a little bit targeted towards. But this new lineup for Kuroki, Fata, Yerax, Mind Control, and Matumba Man. 2 Finns, 2 Germans, and a Bulgarian in Mind Control. Nice lineup, and when I saw this I thought, hey, got a bunch of really good players here. Mind Control has been playing out of his mind in things like FPL, when he Aftershock, basically unknown, performed exceptionally as this sort of up-and-coming player and shown that he definitely play with. Now he's playing off-lane, Fata mid, Matu in safe lane, farming role. Rookie Jerax, port roles. But Golden Boys, this is one of my favorite teams start of the year. Alongside Vega, London Conspiracy, they've changed a little bit now getting to Golden Boys. They've lost Relax, they've lost Spartan, got Skanks, Madara, obviously Kaiser, and then Skylark, who was added in for Relax. Maybe next time, one of their newer. Draft-wise, what are we looking at? Queen of Pain and Phantom Lancer in the second phase of bans. A Tusk combo. Gyrocopter plus Winter Wyvern picked up by.
The question is, do they ban the techies right now with this ban? That is the question, because Golden Boys have first pick in the next phase, and they already have the Tusk. So this is where you choose.
I don't think I've seen Golden Boys play techies before. One of those heroes where you kind of, you know, can play it regardless of having a dedicated player for it, you know, like AUI, Kuroki. Go out and ban the Clockwork, safety ban there. In case the Tusk heads into a support role, their draft is obviously very open with Lina and Tusk. You're not sure exactly what kind of roles they're happy.
And then taking a look over the Golden Boys, they also have
10 seconds
you've got your Tusk going, and then I don't know, that first of all, that's one of those like big JRX heroes, so I'm sure Kuroki would have been looking towards. But Golden Boys, I always think of when they went with like the Beastmaster and the Invoker and all those kind of plays, like down in MLG. That was pretty intense down at the X Games, and I wonder if they have any of those kind of strategies lined up for us today.
Those heroes where you can just completely crush lanes. Ban out here. It's difficult to think along the lines of, okay, they've got Gyro and Winter Wyvern, what do we do to stop their draft? Because they're very open heroes. They've got crowd control, they've got great opening power in the laning phase with the Arctic Burn and Barrage. That counts with the Winter Wyvern. You can ban out, you know, a TA. Go, they ban out the TA. Well, it's like there is no ideal ban for you, so it's mainly about banning something that kind of counters one of your lanes. So with the Lina, you want to ban out the TA there just as a safety net. You don't want to be up against that Templar Assassin and then instantly straight in there with a Darkseer pick.
Yeah, likewise, the Winter Wyvern Darkseer, another very good combo, and with them banning out the Clockwork, not that many top tier offlaners left, so I like Golden Boys just grabbing that, not only for themselves, but also to block it out, because, I mean, Gyrocopter, Winter Wyvern Darkseer, pretty solid tri-core that we see a lot of the time, in terms of draft capabilities, and like how they want to take fights. Picking for them, with the TA banned out, there's not that many heroes that you look towards versus Lina in the mid lane.
Yeah,
she's one of those dominators.
No, like, you look at the bans out from Golden Boys, mid-hero, then a support, then mid-hero, mid-hero. Queen of Pain, TA taken out. With the Storm, so this kind of means that with the Storm mid, they'll need a dedicated hero to actually go and help him out, so whether that's going to be the Scarith Mage or the Winter Wyvern, maybe giving them to lack on stuns, but Golden Boys, they know what's coming. The Anti-Mage, again, directly picked up after that Storm Spirit. Got a plan here. Looks like Kuroki, not one full step behind, but maybe half a step off.
Yeah, I think they were definitely prepared for that. I'd love to see the vacuum mana void with that increased range that was added a while ago. It's absolutely absurd how much damage you can output if you manage to land on top of the Storm of Spirit. And nothing really... I'm not sure if he'll still be looking towards the Bloodstone and the Orchid this game. Orchid's pretty good against Bolina, but he's not forced into that Orchid early with the, like if there's a Queen of Pain or something like that, so... I think the Winter Wyvern's already defensive enough. I mean, you could look for like that double defensive support where you go like a Dazzle too, but sometimes that tends to like not be enough, you know? We've seen a few teams draft that duo before. So I'd be looking for maybe a little bit more greedy of a support next.
You look for Sand King, something along those lines, just maybe farm the jungle a little bit, and you've also got some kind of laning power. You can move around with your Burrow Strike and find some open stuns. There's no Earthshaker, which is a little bit on the downside here for 5Jungs.
Phoenix.
Dire team back.
Interesting, and I guess with the Supernova, Winter's Curse, Gyrocopter cooldown, they've got a good, solid combo there. Laning phase-wise, how does he do? Because there's Tusk Snowball, there's still the final support pick here from Golden Boys, which Gareth Mage could be a Silencer even. And Silencer here would actually work very well for them. Global against Storm, against Wyvern, against all of these heroes. Stops their combo, stops Storm from being able to jump in and out. So I definitely see that Silencer being a 5th ban here from
Reserve time.
Yeah, and especially because, well, Phoenix obviously a good offlaner in terms of, like, if you have that support Tusk who's going to be in the lane, he can't snowball on top of you because you just have the dive, but then the Silencer, you know, nice little, the perfect lane counter to the Phoenix, or sad Phoenix. And looking towards, I guess it'd be the Jerax hero, I assume last, probably going to be a Kuroki Winter Wyvern, and then something a bit more active for Jerax. I wouldn't mind seeing something like the Pugna. One of those heroes, like pretty good against Lina, Darkseer, even the Tusk. It makes it easy to land your spells as they come out of the snowball, but maybe something a little more stable. Maybe like a Sand King.
That's actually going to be interesting because both of these players kind of played the 4 role in their previous teams, where they were a little greedier, where they had the great opening stuns and spells that they throw out. So we're playing the Winter Wyvern. Do you think that's Kuroki, and then Jerax plays the 4 role?
I think so. He's so active. Like he's the player I think of where he walks into a lane 2 minutes in and gets a 3-man Light Strike array.
Yeah.
Like he lands spells and he makes plays. So that's where I would like to see him myself. And they're gonna ban the Rubik, so standard Kuroki hero. Maybe they would have looked for something there. It's gonna be something that can sit with the Gyro because Winter Wyvern's gonna be so busy mid.
They've banned out the Disruptor here. Silencer is actually still out there in the pool for Golden Boys to pick up, and I really see that as being a perfect pick for them. Silencer plus Tusk is, a decent support combo. Darkseer can sit on the off lane alone. Alina mid against that Storm Spirit shouldn't have a rough time at all. Then you can actually TP the Tusk in to try and find kills on a Storm early on before he hits level 6. Anti-Mage can farm pretty freely if the Phoenix is sent out of XP range.
Reserve time.
Solid pick all around. But then what are you going to pick up to try and counteract that? You could even run dual lanes with a Phoenix. A Spirit Breaker plus Phoenix lane could then kind of put a stop to that plan if a Silencer is still picked up. Then you have that Spirit Breaker in kind of the 4 role, Winter Wyvern in the 5, and you can a lot more aggressively up into the Anti-Mage, but also up into this Lion.
There is still the Undying. I don't know if that would be the pick here. Not that good in terms of counter initiation, like for helping at Storm in the mid, unless you... Like, if Winter Wyvern comes in with the save and then you drop the Tombstone to chase them back and maybe get a few pick-off kills, that could work. Also fairly good in a dual offlane, and the graphics themselves. Okay.
I was not expecting that, actually. The Global Silence, like, I don't know how great it is against the Storm Phoenix and all these guys, but it's amazingly good against the Lina as well. Either Lina go forward with the Yule Scepter, you Global Silence and she can't land Light Strike Array, Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade, she can't get her combo off basically. Then Anti-Mage can't blink away. Darkseer is a very combo reliant hero. He wants to get in there, he's the synergy hero between Lion and Lina. He wants to get the vacuum in, get the stuns in a big AoE and make sure that they land these team fights. Roki's going to be picking up that Jerax on the Winter Wyvern. Fata, Mid-Storm Spirit, Gyrocopter, Matu. Lanes are going to be pretty stock standard here. There's not
10 seconds
out of the ordinary, except, maybe still that dual lane up top. I could see the Phoenix +1 going up to the top lane.
Yeah, I could see that as well. Like kind of like the harass from both the fire spirits and then maybe the silencer. And Krogi's actually immediately TPing. Oh, look, that's efficiency. Do you see that? He's not even gonna waste the time of putting down the courier. Maximum efficiency.
Yep, of course. He's got 2 observer wards on him as well. Items back in the stash, but where's he going? What's he doing? He hasn't placed anything yet.
I think he was expecting them to try the TP. He was trying to catch them out.
Garlock doesn't even have an observer ward, you know? He has a sentry ward looking for the observer ward that's going to be placed out here by the silencer. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now there's 4 heroes here from the Radiant actually go to their jungle. Stop. Spot there is going to be contested. Tried to be taken by Golden Boys. Get in there. Maybe a dive from the Phoenix. Steal it.
There is the possibility of the Hex or the Earth Spike though. Pretty risky.
Seconds to battle.
But I wonder if he'll go for it. I think if he sees the line, he won't go for it, but maybe he'll get baited into it. We'll see.
Seeing a lot more of these high ground observer wards towards the middle lane as well, looking for where the supports are coming from, and with Alina, obviously you want to get that light strike array up on high ground, so having the extra that cool thing to have. Kuroki's actually made his way all the way from bottom lane, get the observer ward up there on the high ground. Mind control, yeah, he gives up. There's no real reason to go in and dive to try and take that bounty rune, so trade it off 1 for 1. Hands on it. And Storm, actually, no null talisman. Circlet and Branches going for a little bit of a faster bottle here than Kaiser.
Yeah, I guess just looking to, knowing that he's going to have to cast quite a few spells here in order to get some of these last hits. Now, Lina, of course, is kind of the same idea, so actually, Fata could have a pretty good time here. Maybe just because you're not really worried about Lina denying you, so you don't need that big last hit capabilities of the null talisman.
The Arctic Burn's already out there in the Tusk. The lane looking for maybe an aggressive play onto Fata. Kaiser drops low, and yeah, it's just going to be a battle of spamming the waves out, really. Pushing the lane equilibrium back towards the tier 1s. Down at bottom lane, the harass out from Kuroki is pretty damn big here onto Darks here. The Glaive's level 1, really handling as Skylark. Want to spam out Iron Shells and try and get some gold.
And he does figure out where that ward is, though, so he gets the nice bonus Tango health.
We're going to get harassed out a little bit by Kuroki, so he's hit level 2. The great thing here for this Darks here, but he's not going to get too much else as he salves and clarities. Dax can start now from the Winter Wyvern. Tusk, bleaching experience from the middle lane a little bit, which Lina's still ahead.
Mind Control pressure paid here. For... yeah, Mind Control just paid a lot of harass. He has to spend a sal. He tried to get the... save that pull, so that he wouldn't lose it, but they just kind of mana burned him straight out. Now they're
trapped on shards with the Light Strike Ray and Slave. There's still no Snowball. He's level 1. He's 1 creep. He's 5 experience away from hitting level 2. That could have been a kill if he'd managed to get to level 2 a little bit faster. Meanwhile, Skylark up bottom lane looking for Kuroki. Iron Shell, no aggressive play there, and Matu. A lot of HP down here. The Iron Shell's really starting to stack up. Bombing away like a madman. 11 for 4. Age 10, 11 for 3 now. Pretty much even in that regards, but it's this middle lane that we've got to watch out for. Fata, he's in a difficult spot. This Lina just keeps racking up the last hits, and the aggressive play capable here from the Tusk, snowballing in. Storm hits level 6, he's definitely very, very fragile.
Yeah, and similarly, I think you're going to be seeing Mind Control possibly having that first blood up top as well onto himself, simply because he's playing really aggressive. He's trying to make sure that he is contesting for last hits, trying to keep the animate shut down at the same time, and eventually you kind of just get caught. But sometimes that can be better than just playing too safe and not getting anything in the lane. Like, at least you're going to be... like, he's playing pretty forward. Now Tusk is trying to make something happen here, but I don't think maybe he's going to be able to get it.
Garlic down bot lane just surges away. He's managed to find himself a little hidey hole, but not for too long as the Kuroki silencer Mind Control top lane. He's got to dive, but he's not going to be able to use it. Mara gets in there with the mana break.
Yeah, Lion is one of the better supports up against Phoenix. If he can't have the silencer, the problem is that he just has so much lockdown that you have, what is it now, a full, it's almost 4 seconds to deal complete damage to that Phoenix.
Skylark, he's fine here. This is one of the troubles. You've got the silencer to harass and zone people out, but the Winter Wyvern kind of fits into that role as well, which is why I was wondering if they'd run dual lanes, have Wyvern kind of moving around looking to control runes and maybe mid lane. But he's resorted to just stacking, pulling, controlling lane equilibrium, and trying to shut down his dogs here a bit, but Skylark's hit level 3, got his Soul Ring. He's perfectly fine. He can even go back into the jungle if he wants to. During Matu, his farm is one thing, but then turning this into, you know, objectives, turning this into team fights in the next 6 or 7 minutes, that's the next thing. Gyrocopter can fight a lot earlier than the Anti-Mage can, but only if you have the situations and scenarios where you can, you know, go and do it.
Yeah, I think Skylark, yeah, he's going to surge himself home. He must be strongly considering heading to the jungle at this point. It's just, the pulls are really well done here by Kuroki, and the Winter Wyvern's been down here essentially full time, so you pretty much, like, there are a few stacks already done up here, and I'm sure Lina would love them, but if Darkseer doesn't get anything soon, I don't know. Maybe he feels like he can still just keep spamming with the Iron Shells, and he's getting a decent amount of farm.
Mind control, you're going to go down, he's going to die for 4 seconds time. I was keeping my eye on mid because maybe next time was looking for the snowball, but Fata coming. It's over to the medium camp and the jungle a little bit there. Tusk, every time he goes off the map, every time he's in fog, it's always super scary for the Storm. They do, though, have a good observer ward here. In out, but Tusk was smoked, so they had pretty much no idea he was coming.
Croaky's just sitting in here denying the Iron Shell creeps. Skylark is just so sad. I don't know, I guess he is still putting the harassment down at the very least of the Gyrocopter, so he's sitting at what, but it's still 32 CS, so maybe not that much harassment, it seems.
Then the stacks over in the Dire Jungle are actually building up pretty nicely here. Maybe next time is showing mid, but the Storm, he just keeps hiding. He's nearly level 6 actually, so he managed to make pretty great strides getting up to that ball lightning. Able to dodge out from aggression that comes as long as he sees it, you know, a fraction of a second before it hits. If they get the snowball from smoke or the light strike array just straight down onto him, it'll be a little bit difficult. Mind control, really leeching experience in the middle lane, knowing that he's a little more survivable with that dive. He hits level 6, and top lane is no place for any hero right now. The Anti-Mage up to Treads and Ring of Health. Lion has brown boots, close to that level 6. Where's the Tusk? Hitting mid. Got himself boots on the courier, I guess.
Both mids just farming up their stacks, so not committing here for the Darkseer. Actually, very nice time by Kaiser there, so he actually just got, I think it was 5 camps total. So that's pretty nice. Clearing up those stacks. Similarly, Fata will grab his as well.
Radiant's top tower
Madara and Madame Man just left completely to their own devices, so obviously Madame Man going to be coming online a little bit earlier, but you always do have the possibility of the AM showing up at the end of the fight and dunking that mana void on Fata.
Yeah.
Which can be extremely frustrating, because typical AM contribution, but that can be a lot of gold.
That's the thing, Matu has gone for the phase boots, he's got his cooldown
they're going at mid.
and he's holding a TP scroll, you're right. Fata actually going to go forward here, maybe next time drop slow to that last word. No kill there. Matu, the TP, I'm definitely looking for him, maybe TPing up to top lane. This observer ward, great down from the line. They're going to see any TPs coming in onto this tier 1. No. Then the actual forward here from Mind Control. That's Gyrocopter coming in.
Yeah, Madara's farm doing pretty good. He's almost got his Perseverance up.
Level-wise, the Dire doing quite a bit better as well. The Lion, the fact that they have kind of run, you know, the pseudo dual lanes, the Lion up at top with the Anti-Mage, the Tusk kind of moving around here and there, getting the experience mid while the Lina goes and farms the stacks. They've got themselves a nice little experience. Darkseer is the one that's sitting near level 5. He'd love to have a little bit more, but it's fine. As soon as Gyro leaves the lane, he's going to have a really nice time down here, just pushing into that tier 1.
Yeah, and Krogi's been so busy. He's only at the Darkseer. He's still sitting at level 3, and Jack's getting the lion's share of the stacks. So maybe Krogi, I'm not sure. I guess he's just going to be happy when he gets 6. And then maybe he'll be looking to do kind of that AA role where you sit in the lane and just punch creeps.
And then just global whenever he wants to.
Yeah, exactly. Like whenever you're needed, and try and catch up that way. Kind of how I expect this to be played out.
Fata is making his way down here. He's got 1 point in Vortex. Maybe look for the kill off the Darkseer, who's gone a little bit too far forward. Skylark does surge up, but look who he's running into. Straight into the arms of the Storm Spirit, who zips forward. And that's going to be a nice little kill. First one up on the board there. Radiant squad. Put a gold for Fata as well. Gets him up. So 0.4k net worth. Finishes off his Soul Ring, his Treads. looking too bad. This safe defensive play, he's got no deaths when he was basically in the death lane. The Tusk Lina lane, where Storms usually get crushed. He's level 8. A full level behind, well, half a level behind or so the Lina. Lina gonna head to neck. Nearly got her Yule Scepter, so about 600 gold until that's up and running. Garlock is left to defend this bot tier 1 all on his own. I think that's one of the biggest things here. The Dire side don't have an amazing amount of kind of rotate and react. Tuskar's pretty good. Darkseer is okay. The Lion is okay. But they need to kind of set up a couple of heroes beforehand. They can't just TP 3 heroes in and expect to, you know, keep a team fight off the back of those TP.
Yeah, and just Darkseer. I think at this point, a lot of the times when you have a Darkseer pick like this, you're looking for him to have something like Soul Ring, Arcanes, and be building towards his mech at this point. Whereas Skylark, I mean, he's just had a really rough lane. There's no jungling for him. Now, of course, by consequence, Lina is getting closer to heals, but without that mech, like the hero, I guess it's just a little bit scary. He doesn't really have that wombo combo hero in terms of like the Ion Shell, so like the Bloodseeker, where you just slap on that Ion Shell and he goes at him. Now, the Tusk is okay. And he's getting a little bit more durable where he might be able to enter into some of these fights. I might look to see him pick up something like the Medallion, possibly.
Yeah, there's like no Bloodseeker, no Spirit Breaker, no one that just goes in. Outside of that Tusk. And Anti-Mage, he's going to be off the map for quite some time, now farming his jungle. A little bit worried about pushing this tier 1 at top, actually, just because, take a look at where the Radiant are. 3 of them are farming their jungle, getting experience, pushing Kuroki closer and closer to that level 6, as well as this Winter Wyvern. You know, they're boasting a level 5, and their ultimates are massively impactful. Finger of Death is, you know, it's great and all. The Tusk Water Punch is pretty damn good. But Winter's Curse and Global Silence, those are game-changing abilities. Will you turn a fight from being even to being crushed?
Yeah, they're also much easier to land on whatever target of your choice is. So, as opposed to like the Finger, I'm sure they would love to take down Fata or something in the middle of the fight, but you can't always guarantee it. Whereas the global and the massive range of the Winter's Curse, you're almost guaranteed to get it onto something relevant every single time, and it looks like Mind Control might be in trouble up here.
They've been waiting for this for quite some time. They've got the Snowball and the Hex. Mind Control can dive away though, and they don't really have this. They're behind the tier 2 pretty much. The stun comes out, Finger of Death, Jared's still not dead. Ice Shot doesn't finish him off, as Madara doesn't finish him off either. The Mana Boy not doing enough. Fata jump forward, he'll get the Remnant damage down, as well as that Overload. Oh man, he's got a regen rune. Fata. Will he have the distance to jump further onto that Tusk though? They threw everything onto that Winter Wyvern. Meanwhile, down at bot lane, Gyrocopter gets the Darks here.
I was just looking, I don't think he got hit by the shards.
I don't think he did.
They missed. It's so unfortunate, they were so close.
Oh, Yule Scepter, the Storm Sprint, Laguna Blade, there we go, bam, down into the ground. But yeah, that Cold Embrace was here, and I'm pretty sure he cast shards like just in front of it, and then they clipped into the hero. That was super close. Like it's level 3 shards, he should have been dead to right.
Yeah, I had to check the combat log just to be sure, but no, the shards didn't hit. It must have been, we're talking pixels here.
Yeah.
That's really close, but I guess it didn't really matter that much. They probably still would have paid with all of that. It's not like the Winter Wyvern really did anything after that, so still a little bit of a deep dive, not able to get that Phoenix that they initially wanted.
Well, AM is now about 600 gold away from his Battle Fury on top of Treads. Looking pretty damn hot right now. Madara, this farm starts racing ahead. This Gyrocopter, you know, who relies on stacks, who relies on fighting, and then going to farm after taking an objective, they've got to start pressing the issue. That's one thing that the Radiant do need to do, is look for a team fight. Want the Storm to start balling out of control, they want the Phoenix to, you know, now he's hit level 6, get his Supernova going, and that's what they're going to do. Smoke up, they've got Global, they've got Winter's Curse, they've got Supernova, these 3 big, massive team fight ultimates. And it looks like they're going to find the Lina. Maybe not, she's walking back to Fountain, she's going to get herself back to base. They're not going to find anyone.
I think Fata showed out of the smoke, or maybe was he not inside of it?
I don't think he was inside of it. I think they wanted to bait him a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, they'll run themselves up to top lane anyway.
I guess it just seemed a little obvious, because there really wasn't much reason for Kaiser to head home. I think he was suspecting something.
Oh,
it looks like
the Lion. The Courier's there as well. They're not going to throw out their ultimates, though. They find the Lion, not expending too much, but wants the trade up here. As Kaiser comes in, Laguna Blade thrown out. He's now trapped in with that Winter's Curse and Supernova on top. Global Suns. The save by the Snowball coming through. Now Self-Yuled is going to dodge out that Supernova stun, but he still gets obliterated by the Splinter Blast. Artu has even made his way up here to try and help out. But Anti-Mage has already TP'd down to bot lane. It looks like they continue farming down there.
Yeah, Matum Man making his way up here. Got the call down ready so they can head up towards Tier 1 tower, and he's going right for that Sanjin Yasha. A little bit tankier, something to deal with the Lina. As Lina is commonly picked up as one of those counters up against the Gyro. Especially if you're trying to go for something like that early BKB. It's just a nice way to burst through all his HP.
Yeah, the Lina usually has the great timing as well, where Yule Scepter comes out before the Gyrocopter gets a big strength item, and then the Aghanim's usually comes out at the same time, maybe a little before, maybe a little bit after, but around the same time as that BKB comes out. Usually the timing's kind of slot together for the Lina to be a semi-counter to that Gyrocopter. It can definitely make his life a living hell as they try to take this tier 1 at top. Trade-off is Madara pushing bot lane, looking for Yerax down in the trees. The Winter Wyvern with that Arctic Burn will find a little hidey hole, delve into safety. Tier 1 for nothing. There is no trade-off as they do not feel safe taking the tier 1 down at bottom lane.
Yeah, and I don't feel like they were able to contest that. The egg was down, so maybe they might have tried something, but it looks like they're just going to try and hope someone else is split pushing down bottom or farming the jungle, or maybe Kuroki looked for a little bit of farm for himself. But it's really unfortunate when you can't get something done. Gyrocopter, okay, there you go. Only the headdress available there, so that's one way to do it. But this might finally pay off. Kuroki decides to go in the jungle. Looks like he suspects it though.
Taking a look at this Anti-Mage, he's down at bot. There's a Winter's Curse available here with a Soul Ring from Wyvern, but you're right. Was middle lane. Oh, really? Madara's jumped in. He knows where the Winter Wyvern is. He blinks forward, but Jirax runs back. The kill over towards the middle lane, I guess. Lina finds the Sansa as Madara does clean up that tier 1, and now he's looking for more. Where has the Winter Wyvern gone? Down the lane he came from.
Jukes.
Full S and Y though, Gyrocopter. 7,000 net worth. Of course, he's still behind his AM, where he starts hitting his farming peak, racing through these jungle camps.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And then he's a little bit of catching up to do, though.
Yeah, but now the Ag and the Global Silence are now back online, so with the Sanjin Yasha now completed, I'm sure they'll be looking probably towards that tier 1 bot, last remaining outer tower, and then the Roche is definitely a possibility, that although they're not going to have much minus armor, so they'll have to rely on things like the Storm Spirit and the Egg and the Call Down and like just their capabilities to fight around the Roche pit to really take it down. Like, it's not exactly going to be the speediest Roche of all time.
I did smoke up their 2 cores here. Kind of interesting that the supports weren't smoked up with them, but they do have the great ability of just kind of jumping forward and finding the reaction, and now they don't even need it. All they want is the Global Silence from like 5,000 range away. Catching the Anti-Mage, and that's a massive kill. How much? It's not that big. 1,000 gold swing, 771 gold, almost 600 of it going to that Storm Spirit. I'm a lot closer to the Bloodstone, but the main factor there is you stop the Anti-Mage farming for that 35-second period when he's dead, and you stop him split pushing. Because now there's no more pressure on one of your lanes, you're not really worried about where's the Anti-Mage, what's he doing? And you've got free reign to get your wards down, get some aggressive observers in the jungle, near the Ancients, and you can make this move over and over again.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like, what the support silencer actually allows your cores to do. I mean, how often do you see 2 cores just smoke up and go looking for a kill? Like, we're so used to the supports being there and relying on them for all the stuns and disables, but we've seen silencer picked up a couple times now up against the Anti-Mage in competitive games, and it's exactly for that reason. This observer ward, of course, now going to be able to spawn mode again if he does decide to go for those Ancients. And it's not even that long of a cooldown. There's only another minute now. 130 seconds at all levels, and so it just makes Madara really wary of where he can go, and you can't be that hyper-aggressive Anti-Mage farming in front of a tier 3,
Yes,
at like 30 minutes.
Especially when you have the Storm to jump you and Vortex, so there's always that time where Global Silence is going to come straight after it. You know that. And what heroes do they have to save him? There's no Dazzle, there's no great heal here, there's a mech from the Dark Seer being built up, and he's 100 gold away from it, so looking pretty good. But can you rely on Snowball to save you from Global plus Vortex? It's incredibly difficult to count on. Now they're looking through the Dire Jungle once again. They've got this Observer Ward scouting, looking for whoever's farming, but the Dire Obs watch their movement in as well. So Madara, once again, heads himself down to bottom lane. A little bit more safe down there. Lion, time to take away. Holding on to it. Waiting to see what they can pull off up here, but it's a little bit of wasted time from the Radiant. Running around, not really doing that much. While the Lina building into a Bloodstone, and this is something that we commonly see when you kind of want to drag the game out a little bit. You know that you're not going to be able to, you know, stomp the mid game. You're 2-1-0. You don't have that 6-0 lead that sometimes you see on these Lenas. The Bloodstone allows her to farm a little more freely. They give her the tankiness she needs against the Gyro, Phoenix, and Global Silence. And also in teamfights, you get the Bloodstone charges, but also the heal and sustain. Without Bloodstone deny, or if you die, the heal in AoE is ridiculously good.
Yeah, not only are you taking it late because of the enemy mage, but Darkseer are pretty good going into the late game. Like, he's just finishing up now his mech at the 18-minute mark, so not one of the faster Darkseers in terms of farms. Oh, Kuroki's gonna run out of Keyser here.
Yeah, they see him. They don't have the zip from the storm. Lina will back herself away. They're still gonna go for this. Go to Snowball. Cooldown. Matu's being caught here. And cooldown with the Winter's Kiss actually turning back onto the Tusk. The anti-mage clears him up easily. Global Silence is thrown out as well, but the Winter Wyvern in a ton of trouble here as one more LSA Dragon Slave. Any amount of magical damage will finish him off. The Lion up at the top part of the jungle though. Mata gets his Bloodstone completed. Doesn't get the extra charge that he'd like from that. Oh, bro. Don't have a TP scroll. But Kaiser doesn't know which way you've gone. Maybe now he'll realize I don't have a line of sight. I'm going to try the LSA. Not going to land it. Kuro's hiding in the tree. They have no idea where he's gone.
Under attack.
Sneaky, sneaky silencer.
Or maybe. Just getting completely team killed by Madara there.
Yeah, that anti-mage cleaned him up easily. And in the meantime, you've got a Midas being sent over to this Phoenix. But even though he had a horrendous laning phase, he got himself a 20-minute Midas on top of Tranquils and Urn. Mind Control going to build up into that level 11 a little bit faster, and then obviously his next item, whatever it may be, the Shiva's Guard, the mech, Lotus Orb, whatever it's going to be. There's so many different little items you see from Phoenixes. A lot of the time it's kind of player preference, or what the captain calls. There's no guaranteed. He's definitely going to go for this item, mainly because you rely so heavily on your set as a Phoenix. You don't scale well with items, particularly. Just buy whatever the team needs.
Yeah, it's kind of like that aura idea of the Brewmaster. Kind of just like getting things that are going to be very useful for your team while you're sitting there in an egg. I like the Midas on Phoenix pretty much at all stages of the game. It really is ridiculous, the differences in terms of the egg at the different levels. Like 5 attacks, 8 attacks, 11 attacks. Pretty major differences. And Fata is on the hunt here, but he just does not seem to be able to find us 2-2. Gonna make his way down the trees, and looks like Fata guessed the wrong direction.
Hiding again. These two supports, the Dancer and the Lion, both are spending a lot of time hiding in the trees, trying to eke out as much efficiency from enemy jungles as they possibly can. It's a game of standoffs here. 11,000 net worth over on the anti-mage, and how does this affect overall net worth? Golden Boy's ahead by a smidgen.
Oh, he auto-attacked!
Oh, you can't get him though.
He got him though.
The creep wave's like, where is he? Where is he? Alert! We see him! We know he's here! It's like that. It's like in Metal Gear Solid, that moment where the alarm goes off and you realize, oh crap, they're gonna come for me. Hide in a box. Oh, Fanta actually tried to go in mid. It looks like there. Self over to the secret shop.
Under attack.
That was so close. It's crazy the effect this Midas is already up to probably about 900 gold after this wave here. So wow, actually up to almost 1200. So Microsoft quickly closing in on another item. Where's your Darkseer? I mean, he's got the Arcanes up now at least, and probably, I would say Blink maybe.
Yeah.
Just in case this starts to spiral a bit out of control. You know, it's very nice for those high guard defenses, or even just a tier 2 defense, really, if you can find it from the right angle.
The only trouble with Blink is that the counter initiation you get from it may be countered out by things like Global, things like Supernova. So, you know, Winter's Curse gets thrown down onto your anti-mage or something like that, and you try to turn it back around. It's going to be difficult, but can you purge off Global with Greaves? You can debuff yourself with Greaves.
Yeah, you should
I'm pretty
be able
sure
to.
you can, right? Up at the top lane, Skylark the Darkseer. Speaking of, being caught here, Phoenix jumping forward, Winter's Curse and Supernova. Down on the two of them, but the Snowball picks him up and tries to save him. Supernova will land before the Snowball releases. Now they're going back in on the path with no mana left. Skylark starts up with a Global Matu coming in. He's got the cooldown ready. Lina, AM, and Lion all caught in his sights. But they've got the 2 kills they wanted, and they're deciding it's time to back up a little bit here. Madara is on the advance, wanting mind control. Doesn't have that strength to blink forward. Fanta reaching up nicely. Kaiser, life strike on 1. He's being ripped apart. The finger of death, not enough. And the storm just tanks through it all. Even with the mana point down, Fanta zips away, and Madara is all alone. They kill off 4 without losing a single hero, and that's the team fight that the Radiant were looking for.
this whole engagement is so unfortunate because the Dire felt safe because this sentry's been up here on the cliff, but shortly after they sentryed this cliff, they came and placed another ward. And because they have no way of providing any vision, they just have no way of knowing that it's actually warded, even though you feel safe with that sentry. Just so, like, unbelievably frustrating. But little do they know, like, Darkseer just walking in there, Skylark was in complete vision, and they knew exactly where they were, and they made a perfect initiation.
Oh, they want the Courier snipe, I think, here. They're looking for the Antimate at the same time, but Courier flying over the cliff and far away to safety. As the Lion gonna go for the Earth Spike. I'm not sure about this. Glimmer Cape is up already from that Winter Wyvern. Be able to save Silencer for now. Yule Scepter into the air though. Kaiser, he wants the LSA and the Guna Blade. He'll throw it out. The Cold Embrace, not enough to save him from the Dragon Slave. 5 men committed here for a kill on the Silencer, and maybe now they look for Roshan. Maybe now they look for, you know, some kind of objective, because Global is down for, well, as long as Silencer is dead for pretty much. There's no Winter's Curse, there's no Supernova, but they are coming back incredibly soon. This Roshan isn't dropping quickly by any means.
Yeah, and again, it looks like they'll probably just rely on just chilling here, like they don't have the medallion or anything from the Tusk, but I don't know.
Oh, Fata, hello? He zips all the way over. He's actually TPing. He did the TP zip. Regen rune is up though. That's a big bait. That is a big bait. Roshan's still going to fall here for the Dire though, picked up by the Lina. Gyrocopter not committing cooldown just yet. The LSA gonna land on top of him now, but the Winter's Curse comes in. They've got him. The Snowball saves to fix them up. Cooldown will land on top of their heads though. When the Global Silence down, they'll lose 3, they'll lose 4. The Lina not long for this world. She got taken out as well. Aegis of the Immortal will pop. She'll come back to life in a second. But Madara, you've got to run. You've got to retreat. You've got to try and get maybe 1 kill here and run, but you're being stunned up. Vortex is there. There's no Mana Void left. He's actually fighting through this. He's actually trying to fight against Fata. There's nothing. Oh, there's nothing left. There are no spells available here from the Radiant. Antimage doesn't have the damage output to bring anyone else down.
The bright side is he is not dropping in these fights. He is living through them, getting some of this experience. He's at level 17. And he's starting to become a problem. He's going for the very defensive BKB build. There are a lot of lines being drawn by Kuroki.
Go here and there.
Blue.
Zap.
And, oh no, carry on, please.
I wonder if he's marking down enemy observable locations. Just kind of marked out this area where there's a couple of obs. Maybe he thinks that, you know, the Antimage's going to get up there and farm. Be a couple of things. Interestingly, the AM is going for a BKB right here, right now.
Yeah.
No Vlads, no Basher, no Heart, no Butterfly. BKB for him. Super defensive.
Yeah, I think he just understands that the only way they're going to win these fights in, like, actual totality is in other heroes on his team survive. Is he's just going to have to be involved. He's going to have the BKB, and he needs to kind of tank up, like, some of these abilities and the right clicks from, like, the Gyrocopter and everything like that. And just to give his other heroes space, honestly, it's time for Animage to create a little bit of space in these fights. And maybe Skylark will be able to land that big vacuum wall, and we'll see some sort of a turnaround. And Jarek's in here again to stand a little sentry, make sure he's not spotted, and then
the problem is, this Bloodstone out from the Lina is meant to, you know, try and secure you. This 26 to 36 minute mark, until maybe the 40th minute. They've got the Hex onto Matu, and Earth Spike down as well, but Microsaur just jumps himself forward. Matu now from the cave double Kaiser, he's already dropped down. Snowball not going to save them from that Winter's Curse. Madara rips apart his own teammates. Fata low on mana, the Mana Void will clear him up, and the Darkseer wall has been dropped. Skylark though, he's going to get taken down. One more little projectile out from the Gyrocopter. Yo, that one, oh my god, really?
Well, that was a zip.
Where did he come from? He died? He respawned. He didn't buy back. He respawned because he had, what, like 16 Bloodstone charges?
Yeah.
Then I guess he TP'd mid and then okay. Okay, Fata, okay.
And even the BKB is just not enough. It was looking kind of good. Man, that Winter's Curse, though. Like, that was very nicely played. Lion just completely obliterated by Madara.
And that's the thing. The Radiant have been choosing when to fight. Everything has been on their terms. Golden Boys, they're always one step behind. They're always getting caught out by these big ultimates, by the big game-changing abilities, the team fight winning ultis.
There's still a global silence.
I mean, cooldown is back off cooldown. Mind Control has a minute until Supernova, 50 seconds. But what's stopping them? The BKB on Gyrocopter isn't here yet, but once that gets delivered, they're going to be able to get up to high ground with impunity almost. Dive away from Mind Control. Spam out as many spells as you can. Fata even finishes up a Lincoln Sphere.
Oh man, they're gonna get the stock too on the keys there. He just dropped his item. He just barely picked it back up in time.
Oh man. But still farming the jungle, not safe at all. Cooldown's gonna land on the other lion though. They won't catch Skylark's Darkseer. Arta low on mana, so he can't jump any further forward. Madara could think about a mana void here, but guess what? Lincoln's Sphere is up on him, so he blinks himself down. Where to? What's he heading for?
Rainy are gonna, I assume, push high ground here, knowing that the Lina has the Bloodstone. One of those items that basically guarantees that they're not saving for buyback as well, because you're like, oh, I have a short cooldown, like, I can go towards that next big item. Plus, you just died twice in a row.
Oh, Madara?
They're gonna need
it. With his guns as well. The vacuum back, the Supernova's down to the wall. Not gonna do too much. Snowball tries to save the Anti-Mage, but it's all done. Anti-Mage flies back to try and get into this fight once more. He's got Mana Void. Where is he? He's got Lincoln Sphere though. He's still got that Lincoln. You cannot pop that Storm Spirit. And no! He gave it to the Gyrocopter. What a freaking player! Now the Madara does not have Mana Void. He's gonna go straight through this team fight. Lion down and out for the count, and Madara's AM gone as well for a minute and a half. Skylark on the run. Backs them back. The three of them. The three amigos.
Thought I saw that coming a mile away.
Crap.
That was unreal. The timing.
You think about it, and it's like, well, I've got Lincoln Sphere, he cannot focus me. He's chasing the gyro. As soon as that Glimmer Cape's done, he's going to try Mana Void. But it was just the timing of it, that exact timing. Lincoln's Mana Void, bam, bam, straight there. Perfect play. Oh man, game number 1 goes the way of 5Jungs. Seeing Golden Boys here in game 1 of this best of 3. ESL 1 New York European qualifiers. This has been a pretty crazy day already. I'm Durka, joining me is Pax. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys, with